All right, grade 8, here we are, lesson 112. Ratios of lengths of sides of right triangles. So they have names for each side with a triangle. So if we have triangle ABC and they're speaking about an angle A, then you're going to have specific names for each one. This is the hypotenuse, that won't change. But which side is opposite and which side is adjacent will change on the labeling of this triangle based on which angle we're speaking about. So in your books on lesson 112, page 739, in your practice set, it asks about ratios with respect to A and then figured out as a decimal place. A little bit of a different concept to work with, but the adjacent one will fall on the line of that angle. So this is the adjacent side in this example, and this is the opposite side. Okay, so we're looking at opposite side to adjacent side. So they've given us some numbers here. This side is 1. This is our right triangle, so the hypotenuse would always go there. And this is 2. So when we look at this further, then we understand that the ratio, it'll be 1 over 2, and if we have to do it as a decimal up to 3 places, we can divide that on our calculator, but it is 0.5. The opposite side to hypotenuse is next. So opposite to hypotenuse would be 1 over a question mark. We can figure this out using the Pythagorean theorem. 2 squared plus 1 squared equals 5. So this hypotenuse is the square root of 5. It would show us then that the opposite side is 1 over the square root of 5. And then the book teaches us that we should actually multiply this to make an equivalent fraction by the square root of 5 to make it 5, the square root of 5 over 5, because 5 times 5 is 25 and the square root of 25 is 5. That would be the correct answer. Then you can plunk it into your calculator and figure it out from there. So if we go 5 square root divided by 5, we get our answer, 0.447. We don't have to round up. So our answer is 0.447. Now it says the adjacent side to the hypotenuse. And of course we get 2 over the square root of 5. And we can't use the square root of 5 on the bottom because that's an irrational number. It's not good to divide by an irrational number. So again, we multiply it by the square root of 5. Square root of 5. And we get 2 times the square root of 5 over 5. That's your answer. You plunk it into your calculator. 2 times 5 square root divided by 5 gets you 0.894, and we don't have to round that up. 0.894. Now things change. We have to find those same ratios, but with respect to angle B. So that would tell us that we should erase the stuff that we have here and take a look at how that would change if we have angle B that we're talking about. So I've erased most of the stuff, probably too much. We have 1, 2, and we've already figured out that this is the square root of 5. This still stays labeled as the hypotenuse, right? Adjacent, it follows the same line, so this is adjacent now. And this is opposite. So opposite to adjacent, that's fairly easy to do. We get 2 over 1, which would equal 2. Opposite to hypotenuse, we get 2 over the square root of 5. Since that's an irrational number, we have to multiply it by an equivalent fraction to make one that we can work with. So it becomes over 5, and so we have 2 in the square root of 5 over 5, which we have figured that out on our calculator up here. So 0.984. And now we have the adjacent side to the hypotenuse. And looking up, we have 1 and we have square root of 5. So adjacent is 1, hypotenuse is square root of 5. We multiply it by the square root of 5 so that we don't have an irrational number on the bottom. And so we get the square root of 5 over 5, which we have figured out earlier, 0.447. Hopefully that made sense, grade 8. Go on to do your written practice, do all of the even numbers, and I am available if you have questions on Meet.